Hey everybody, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to do something that's probably going to generate a lot of hate comments. But I'm going to be talking about MDF. And people who build with MDF love MDF because the face of MDF paints beautifully. However, the edges of MDF are almost always a problem. So I have tried a number of products over the years, some designed specifically to seal the side of MDF. I have tried mixtures of glues and water. I have tried finishes like shellac and polyurethane, polyacrylic, dry decks. I mean, a whole list of things I have tried to apply to the side of MDF to get it where I can get a beautiful painted surface on this exposed or on this cut edge of MDF. And over the years, what I've found out is that the solution to this is not only easy, but it's also cheap. And what you're going to need is basically a bucket of joint compound. Now, just in case you're not familiar with joint compound is the material that drywallers use when they put up your sheetrock. They use this to cover the screw holes. They use it over the tape that covers the seams. And they also use it to, a lot of times, to produce the texture on textured walls. This is super cheap, okay? Compared to a pint or what a quart of dry decks, it's about the same price, okay? And we get a whole lot more here. And this is really easy. Here in front of me, I've got a whole bunch of MDF that I've ripped down into strips that I'm going to use on a budget cabinet build for a friend. And these are not going to get a whole lot of wear and tear. They're just going to be cosmetic. So this is going to work perfectly on this, and it's going to save my friend a lot of money. And basically, doing this is super simple. All I'm going to do is, to make my life a little easier, I'm going to come with a clamp, and I'm going to clamp these pieces of MDF together right here in the middle. And I'm just going to clamp them tight and make sure that everything's kind of level. I'm just going to take my taper's knife here. I've got a short, maybe 8-inch taper's knife. And I'm just going to get myself a big scoop of this joint compound here and spread it over. Now I say I'm going to get a lot of hateful comments because this is pretty much woodworking blasphemy. But all I'm going to do is I'm going to take this joint compound and I'm going to spread it. And I don't want to be too thick, okay? I just want enough to get into the pores of this MDF. I'm going to do these all at once here. Okay, I clamped them so that I don't get a whole lot of joint compound squeezed down in between these strips of MDF. I'm just gonna smash it in there real good. MDF, when you first cut it, is a little, even though it's a wood product, it's a little hydrophobic where you cut it. So it'll actually take a second for the moisture to penetrate into the MDF. So I'm gonna apply this pretty thick at first and let this kind of soak in for a second. And then all I'm going to do is come back and give it one nice drag here. If you've got any little ridges in here where your joint compound might be dirty, or you might have a piece of dry joint compound in here, just go over it again. To reduce the amount of sanding you're going to have to do. But basically, that's it. All right, now that I've got a nice thin coat on all of this MDF, I'm just going to release my clamp. And I'm just going to spread these out a little bit. And that'll just keep them from sticking together. Which when you break these apart, it could break off a bit of the joint compound, the dried joint compound. So I'm just going to put a little bit of space in between all these. Once these all dry, they're just going to need a very light sanding. Joint compound sands very easily. So I'm talking, you know, once or twice over with 220 sandpaper, and you'll have a perfectly smooth finish to apply your primer or paint, whatever your coating is. One thing I will say is that generally, after you sand it, you want to prime the edges. You may even consider painting the edges before you attach the trim, unless you're like me and you spray all of your furniture. I spray all of my furniture so I don't have a problem getting into the nooks and crannies once the trim's attached. But if you're using a roller or a brush, then you're going to want to probably give these a light sand, apply your primer, let it dry, and then apply your paint, at least on this edge, and then install the trim. And then you can paint the entire cabinet when you're done. This is the easiest way, cheapest way, and honestly most beautiful way that I've found to very quickly and on a budget cover these MDF edges and get a really, really great finish on them. Thanks, and if you like this video, hit subscribe. I'm going to be putting out a lot more videos. We have a lot already, but I'm going to keep doing this, and I'd love to see you join me on the rest. Take care and have a great day.